This is by far the hardest video that I've ever had to film, but today I'm going to try and ask the question of, should I boycott Activision Blizzard? Is it time to just pretend that they don't exist? I love Blizzard games. I grew up playing a bunch of Diablo and Diablo 2. I actually flew to California to play the demo for Diablo 4. I have about 3,000 hours in World of Warcraft and WoW Classic. I've slayed bosses. I've spent so much of my life running around in the universes that they've created. But this controversy is so bad. It's so dangerous. I just don't think it's responsible to talk about their projects anymore. But let's get into it. What's up, gamers? Dreamcastguy here, and in case you've been living under a rock for the last 72 hours, there's a gigantic lawsuit going on over in California about Activision Blizzard. Now, it sounds like this is both halves of the cookie. This is not just the Blizzard side of things, this is Activision as well. So yes, the Call of Duty developers are as much of dude bros as you possibly could have imagined. Now, I want to do a gigantic content warning before I start reading the lawsuit. It is bad. It is probably one of the worst things I've ever read in my life. In fact, one of the women that is involved in this case unfortunately took her own life. I am repulsed. I am stunned. Let's look at this. So, essentially what happened is that California has this thing called the Fair Employment and Housing Department. Now what they do is essentially, in order to make their state the most appealing to companies, saying, come here and run your business here, one of the things they do is that California likes to investigate and keep an eye on companies themselves, making sure that they are good places to work. Because if you have an evil company or a crazy sweatshop or something, that's going to look bad on the state entirely. Well, they decided to do a multiple year-long investigation of Activision Blizzard, looking at all their paperwork, talking to people, and they discovered hundreds of examples of individual and group-based discrimination. Some of the stuff they found in this case are just completely crazy, making it where things like, men doing just terrible things to women and not getting in trouble for it, going around the office drunk, just doing drugs, just constant stuff that is just so crazy. The stuff that definitely strikes me the most is the amount of times where it's talking about employees touching women and just getting in trouble with it. One of the worst examples is actually the previous senior creative director of World of Warcraft, which is Alex, and he's just doing blatantly awful stuff with no repercussions for years and years and years and years. This is bonkers. This guy actually had a freaking hotel room they called the Cosby Suite. It's disgusting. And it's making me realize that the money we give to Blizzard, it's not going back into the games themselves. It's not like we're actually getting anything out of this. This has been kind of eye-opening in the most disappointing way possible to realize that the money I've been giving to Blizzard doesn't go back into Blizzard games. It's not like my love and cash goes back into making these worlds even more glorious to play. It goes into garbage like this. Absolute freaking scum losers. There's a lot of great people in the game industry. Straight up, almost every freaking time I've ever had the opportunity to talk to a game developer, they are passionate, badass, driven people who want to make the most amazing stuff possible. But when you allow people to be scummy, they're going to keep doing it. The fact that they did not actually lock this down, that's the worst part about this. That's the biggest reason that this lawsuit just keeps escalating, is because the fact that clearly it run rampant. These people just had so much money and so much power, they just kept doing it. Now, before anybody says something like, oh, these women should have just quit, imagine if you spent years and years of your life, like I have. Like, imagine somebody in my circumstance. I am obsessed with Diablo. In fact, two of my prizes of my collection is Diablo and Diablo 2 in perfect condition and all that. Like, if somebody had offered me a job at Blizzard to work at Diablo, I love Diablo so much, I might actually have quit my YouTube channel to work on a Diablo game. That's how much I love the Diablo series. if I had gotten there and then after working there, somebody started like treating me weird and stuff, like it's difficult after you've moved across the country, taken this crazy job, built your entire life around the idea of working on this game. It's difficult to walk away from that job. I'm so mad right now because this just kept going on. There is so many examples of this. There's so many freaking things in this case that drive me insane. But let's talk about the woman who died. So this is an actual part of the lawsuit itself, and it shows that essentially this woman got involved in some sort of like weird situation with her boss, maybe trying to, her boss was trying to sleep with her, something like that. They go on a business trip together, and she offed herself during the business trip with the male supervisor. And at a previous holiday party, it sounds like people were sharing her nudes around, just kind of laughing, showing pictures. I can't even look at this lawsuit. This is just, I'm so... And you know what? It doesn't stop there. It goes on and on and on, thinking like, oh, like a woman who's kicking butt at work asks for a promotion, and it says, you know what? I'd love to give you a promotion, but you might get pregnant, and then you might like being a mom. Like, employees are discouraged from making any complaints to HR. Part of what makes this so annoying is that already the amount of people that are coming forward, the amount of ex-Blizzard employees that are now on the record saying, this happened, this happened, this happened. This is not a singular example. The ex-freaking CEO, one of the founders of Blizzard who recently left the company, is even doing a statement saying, yes, this happened, I see you, I hear you, I believe you, I'm sorry to have let you down. What makes me go nuts about this is the fact that it just goes on and on and on, and then their stupid statement. I'm literally shaking with anger right now. I'm so sorry, but I hate that they gave the stupid, bland, non-statement. We value diversity and strive to foster a workplace that offers inclusivity. No, you don't. A woman is dead because you don't care about striving inclusivity. These are lies from the company. Our money that goes into Activision Blizzard, it's not just stupid loot crates from freaking Call of Duty. It's not just the fact that they want to try and sell you the stupidest collector's edition possible. It's not even the fact that I feel like they're ruining World of Warcraft, although yes, that is part of the reason that they kind of annoyed me in the last year. It's now that we realize what you're putting into them is blood money. Activision Blizzard is screwing over actual people. Real women are having their lives ruined by crappy managers who aren't even... I'm so mad right now. I'm so mad because I feel like in some way I tacitly... My money went to this. This stupid t-shirt that I bought is fucking part of this. Excuse my cussing. This t-shirt also goes, this money also goes to a company that just doesn't care about women. And now people are talking about doing a boycott of coverage. Gaming outlets are now talking about basically just not talking about. Prima Games is saying that they're going to put a hard pause on it. Game Explain has said they're not going to be talking about Activision games or Blizzard games any further. And I think that this may be the morally responsible course of action. As much as I love Blizzard games, as much as I want to talk about Diablo 2 Remastered, as much as I want to do these games, as much as I want to talk about the dumpster fire that is Diablo Immortal, I feel like it is no longer... It's no longer morally correct. I've played some bad games. I've played some good games. I love reviewing games in general. I love just playing stuff. But if my options are to talk about a company that is hurting people this much for absolutely no reason, or to talk about games that are made by people that aren't absolute scum, I think it's time to talk about games that aren't made by people who are absolute scum. Tell me your thoughts though in the comments. I'm so conflicted about what the I don't know. This is the worst thing I've ever. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. This whole mess. I'm so mad and frustrated and tired, and I'm so sorry. I love you guys so much. Just please listen to women. I know it's such a stupid milquetoast statement, but if your female friends come to you and say they have this problem or something's going wrong, find the proper course of action. Report it to the police, report it to a boss, report it to outside the company. Do what you gotta do to make women feel safe, because this stuff went on for way too long, and who knows how many thousands of people sat there and watched this scum continue. The Cosby Suite. How could they even get to a point to having a nickname so awful? Thanks so much for watching, gamers. If you enjoyed this video, please share it around, subscribe if you want, but please just be a good person. I don't even feel like it's appropriate to put a keep dreaming in this video. Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.